You're watching live from Paris with me, Claire Pride, and now it's time to say hello to Jessica. Hello, Jessica. You're here to tell us all about the haute couture shows that just wrapped up here in Paris. And there's a feeling in the industry that couture has got some new wind in its sails.
Absolutely. In fact, we're even seeing the Couture Effect touching the menswear industry. In fact, the menswear shows happened right before couture here in Paris. The perfect example of how we're seeing this couture level of craftsmanship seeping also into menswear would be the Tom Brown show. His woodland-inspired show showed a real link to the world of couture in the attention to details, the very original look of the clothing, and even the presentation itself, very much in the vein of haute couture. But I can understand, that those who don't go to couture shows all the time and hear that these dresses cost tens of thousands of dollars, that it would be difficult to justify that. And the best way to get over that is to actually look at the clothing up close and personal to see the details that go into each and every piece. And if you can't do that, then at least watch it on the television, a show. And even then, a layman would be able to understand the level of craftsmanship going into something like the Jean-Paul Gaultier show that was yesterday here in Paris. The skill that goes into those designs, it shows that Gaultier remains one of the greatest artistic minds and masters of couture. His work this season was particularly inspired by butterflies, and in fact, butterflies became a touchstone in a number of different shows this season. We saw butterflies on the runways of Alexis Mabille, Yi Chi-ying, Valentino, and even kind of slight references in the Dior show. And we actually asked Mr. Gaultier what was the inspiration, why did he pick butterflies? So let's take a listen.
Butterflies in the daytime and butterflies at night. Flitting and flirting around seems to be all the rage right now. Some do it wearing a helmet on a moped. We can flit about in lots of different ways, so if you like, these are different versions of flitting butterflies.
Now, you mentioned Dior just before. Since designer Rafa Simmons took over from John Galliano, it seems like the house has done a 180 in terms of aesthetic.
Yes, that's exactly right. During the time of Galliano, it was very much a theatrical haute couture, something always kind of over the top, whereas Raf Simons is much more of an intellectual designer. His vision of fashion, and in particular haute couture, is something that he wants to create something that's more real, something that resonates with the woman of today. This season, he focused on the idea of the intimacy of clothing, the relationship a woman has with her clothes, and the collection was all about the lightness of the fabrics, the movement of the fabrics, particularly the cut work, so open pieces embroidered onto the clothing, and there was a very much of an organic architectural feel, something almost you could see slight references to futurism of the 1960s, Pierre Cardin, Paco Rabanne, and Simmons even replaced a lot of the high heels in the show with these slip-on sneakers that he embroidered beautifully. So we're showing, taking couture off the pedestal and bringing it into the real world.
Yes, you mentioned sneakers or trainers in British English.
Yes.
We saw some at the Chanel show as well. Is it a big thing this year then?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, great minds think alike maybe in the couture version of that, whereas we saw really at the couture show for Chanel that was really quite a key part of the collection. Designer Karl Lagerfeld put all of the couture dresses on models wearing sneakers and had them walk down the catwalk, or actually walk down a flight of stairs. So instead of grandiosely walking down the stairs, they ran down the stairs like the young women that they are. They danced and twirled on the catwalk in front of the haute couture clients in the front row, and you could see that these techno tweed trainers, as you call them, with lace and pearls, beautifully done. And this introduction of sportswear really shows how couture once again is getting this new energy and new effervescence in relationship to the new clientele, these younger women who want couture for every day.
Now tell us about the newest member of the Haute Couture Club.
Well, yes, this is really quite exciting, actually. It's a young designer named Bouchois Gerard, who in the past has worked with great designers such as Nicolas Ghesquière at Balenciaga and Christian Lacroix. And what she's been given in December, she was given the appellation of a Grand Couturier. Now, if you think about this, it's kind of like Champagne, where we're trying to protect the heritage and history of France. So when you get the appellation of Grand Couturier, it's quite an honor. In fact, she is the only woman in over the last 30 years to get the appellation. So she's joining the ranks of women like Coco Chanel, Elsa Schiaparelli, Madame Vionnet, Madame Gray. So she's among other amazing women who have shocked and changed fashion in a very profound way. And what I particularly like about her is that she has always been a woman who thought that we should be designing couture for women of today. And now that the rest of the couture world is coming around to her point of view, I think it's going to be pay off for her quite well in the years to come.
Okay, thank you very much, Jessica. We've run out of time, but just a reminder to our viewers that you can catch Jessica's fashion reviews on the website nowfashion.com, and on Twitter you go by the name of Jessica Michaud. Thank you very much
My
for
pleasure.
coming in, and thank you for watching. Do stay tuned to Live from Paris. I'll have the latest headlines for you at the top of the hour.